Hello everyone, welcome to tonight's live stream. Thank you very much for joining us, and I do apologise that we were a little bit late today. Unfortunately, you only have me tonight, but I hope to keep you guys can keep me company tonight. Hang on, I will just change the mic over. Okay, so hopefully we've got people in the chat. Let's have a look here. We've got a few people that said, "Hey Mel, how you going? Hope everything's really well." Ruby, hello, how you going? Monza, hey, how you going? Team Coxie, hope you're all doing well. Hopefully you can hear me. If you're not, just give us a yell in the Discord channel, and I'll start flicking things and trying to madly turn things on. So, all right. So, if this is the first time that you're viewing this, welcome. This is a live stream of the night sky. It seems like everyone can hear. Cool. And we've had some technical issues yesterday with the internet. And now the 14 is deciding to play up a bit, so we're going to be looking at just one object tonight, and this is Mezier's second object. So Mezier number 2. Now, guys, if you do want to ask questions about this, you're more than welcome to. You just join the Discord channel in the. There's a link in the description and also in all the social media posts. And also there's the links to our Facebook page, Twitter page, Instagram page, so you can keep up to date with what's happening at the observatory and also in astronomy as well. There's also the PayPal link there to help keep me doing this as well. Hello, the only Astro. Thank you for joining the Discord channel today, and yeah, and you get some cool merches as well that we'll be trying to send out to you as well. We're hoping to maybe turn the Patreon into our Friends of Perth Observatory category as well. So what we'll do, it was in the shot about 5 minutes ago. Let's hope we can see what we can. If it's still there. So Messier 2 is a globular cluster. So we'll try to do 15 seconds. And ISO for the camera we'll set it 3200 for the moment, and we'll just test out to see how it's going. It is a little bit windy, which means the fork mount of the telescope isn't behaving itself absolutely. But hopefully we can get some nice images here. Okay, so we're using the program we're using tonight. If you're new to this, is called Backyard Nikon. So we're using a Meade 14 telescope, LX200. So it's a 14 inches across. It's a reflecting telescope, so we're using mirrors to focus the image into the where your eyeball would be, but where the camera lens would be. Ooh, there we go. It's actually tracking well. Okay, well let's see what we can do if we just bump up the ISO a bit. Let's keep it 32, and we'll just do 20 seconds. But if not, we can always come back to this shot. And so to control the camera, we're using Backyard Nikon on my laptop, and it's connected via USB cable to my laptop. And this is the premium edition. It will set you back about $73. It probably will be cheaper now because it's US dollars, and the Aussie dollar's actually been doing pretty well. It's back up to about 73 cents. So yeah, so what we're doing, you can control stuff. You can control the settings. You can control how long the exposure is, how many, what the ISO is for the camera. It'll give you information on the battery power, also what the quality of the image is. So it's going to be taking JPEGs, which I'm going to have to remember when we go. And there's a little bit wind there, but we got some more detail, so I'll just take another shot. And we've also tells you that there's the manual. You can also play around with the histogram, and you can darken or increase the brightness of the photos as well. So, and I've got it on night vision as well, so I don't ruin my night vision, but I've got my nice screen next to me with Discord, which is fairly bright as well, so I'm probably defeating the purpose there. But while this is taking the photos, and I've talked about Backyard Nikon, Messier 2 is a globular cluster. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a lovely name. And Charles Messier, who does the Messier, who created the Messier catalogue, didn't find time to give it a good name. Even William Herschel and all these other astronomers back in the 18th century, they didn't give it a good name. So I don't understand why. That was unfortunately, it's a little sad, because it is a lovely globular cluster. Now, globular clusters are really, really old star clusters. This one is about 13 billion years old, so it's roughly around the same age as the next Messier catalogue, object Messier 3, and also Messier 5, which are both globular clusters as well. And as well as 47 Tucana that we've shown on a night, and also the Omega Centauri as well, which we've shown here on a live stream. And it's you can see there's been some movement there with wind, but you can see that there's some nice bright stars in there, and it's got quite a dense core as well. So I'll just turn this into this full screen mode, and just give me a sec here. And I'll transition right here and look at that lovely globular cluster. I think globular clusters are definitely after Saturn, we definitely get a lot more wows as well here. So it's quite far away from us. It's 37,500 light years away from us, and lies in the constellation of Aquarius. It is one of the largest known clusters. It's roughly around about 175 light years in diameter, so it is quite sparse. So, and it's about 5 degrees north of the bright star called Beta Aquarii as well. Because it's so old, this would have been created around about when the 6% of the age of the universe as it is now. So it is it's very, very old. It would have been less than 1 billion years old, and it's moving towards us in I will call you from now on Astro. It's moving towards us at about 5.3 kilometers per second, so it's heading straight for us. And it's there are about 120 of these that exist above and below the halo above the disk of the galaxy, and there's some theories of exactly where they've come from. Some of these will have formed from dust clouds that have been around the Milky Way as it's grown to this age. Maybe they've never been actually captured fully, but there are some, like Omega Centauri, which they actually believe are the cause of dwarf galaxies that our galaxy has eaten. Our galaxy, unfortunately, is a cannibal. It has gobbled up about 10 to 11 galaxies to get to where it is. Even Andromeda, they think, is actually a merger of two galaxies that took place about 8 billion years ago, and it's heading straight for us as well. And so this is where, so you could have had a dwarf galaxy that's come through the disk, had all the outer layers and dust and gas stripped off, and you've just left the core and of dense stars. And in this one, it actually orbits in the halo, so it does contain some of the oldest known stars that we've found, much older than the Sun. And we know this because when we take the spectrum of these stars, they have very few elements heavier than hydrogen and helium. So when these stars were formed, there was mostly hydrogen and helium. There was carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, and all that kind of stuff, but just not enough. And so we don't find any planets around these stars, and it's a shame because it would be awesome, particularly in that core there, to have a planet and look up and see hundreds and even thousands of stars in the night sky, because there wouldn't be really any night. At best, there would be twilight conditions. Now, even though it's 175 light years across, it does actually have what's called a tidal influence. So it affects any stars in this area, and it's about 233 light years across. Beyond that point, member stars can escape the cluster by the tidal gravity forces of our galaxy, and they can be stripped away from the cluster itself. And also the core is quite dense as well. So it's one of the most densest cores. It's about 3 to 4 light years across as well. So there wouldn't be much space between them, and that also causes stars to interact with each other. So we do find that, particularly in globular clusters, that there are a lot of binary stars and also what are called blue straggler stars. So these are stars that that are old, but they are too hot and to be at that stage of their life. And what we think is the case is that they either had a head-on collision and merged with another star, or it could have a companion star and it's pulling off material, hydrogen, and adding it onto itself. So consider them either a car crash or vampires. They're sucking off hydrogen of other stars to form to keep their life going. They've found about 21 variable stars. These are stars that pulsate, and they brighten and they dim number as well over a period of time, and you can actually work out the cycle of these variable stars. There's also 3 Cepheid variable stars that we've identified in this cluster. Cepheid variables are luminous variable stars that also serve as an indicator for galactical distances that we use. These stars can vary between a very large bright state and also a very small and denser state as well. So these, not only do they brighten, but they actually expand in and out as well. And we can use these stars to figure out how far galaxies and obviously globular clusters are away from us as well. One of the variable stars that they've found, it's luminous pulsating variable, and it exhibits a change in luminosity over a 69-day period as well. So it's on the eastern edge of the actual cluster. So I think, because we're looking at it flipped, so 50-50 chance, but I think it'll probably be around about here in this area right here. Okay, and And it was actually discovered by an Italian-born French astronomer called Jean-Dominique Maradi on the September 11th, 1746. And he was actually discovered it while observing a comet with French astronomer Jacques Cassini, who was the son of the very famous Italian astronomer Giovanni Cassini, who actually noticed the rings of Saturn, and we also found the moons of Iapetus as well. And NASA named its spacecraft Cassini after him as well. And they thought it was actually a nebula. So a lot of these things they thought were just nebula. They didn't have very good telescopes. Well, for their day they were really good, but unfortunately, considering technology increases and gets better, then they weren't that great compared to today. But they actually, and Charles Messier also spotted it about 14 years afterwards, and thought it was a nebula without any stars associated. Well, he got that one wrong. But it was the very first globular cluster that Messier added. German-British astronomer William Herschel was actually the first to resolve the individual stars as well, and he did that in 1783 as well. And you can actually see this through binoculars and small telescopes. There have been reports that you can see it with the naked eye, but you have to have extremely good viewing conditions and with clear skies and no light pollution. And the best time to see it is around that July to November period of time. It's starting to it's in the northwest at the moment. So if you're in Perth, you probably want to see this. You might want to go, or you'll have if you've got your telescope aligned properly, you'll be able to see it. But it is definitely something that you need to be able to go out with. If you want to see it with binoculars, you'll definitely have to go out and to the country as well to see it. You can actually start making out individual stars with larger instruments like 6-inch telescopes as well. So it is a lovely, we can see here. Alright guys, I'm really sorry for all the trouble we had yesterday and also today. I hope you had a lovely time. We will be doing this again in 2 weeks. We'll have a look at why we had internet troubles yesterday, and we'll go and try and get this 14 telescope better aligned as well. But thanks again for joining. We hope you had a lovely time, and look, please follow us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Also, we actually got over 1,000 subscribers to our YouTube page, so thank you to everyone who subscribed. If you did like this video, please share it with your friends and family. We normally like to do about 3 or 4 objects normally with these live streams, and we've got some really good objects coming up. Unfortunately, Orion was just going to be a little bit too late tonight, so hopefully in 2 weeks we'll be able to show you the Orion Nebula as well. So please like and share the video. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and also follow us on Facebook and Messenger, because we'll let you know when all the cool stuff is happening in the night sky. Actually, if you go outside right now after this and look to the west, you'll see the Moon and Saturn and Jupiter all in a nice triangle. So it doesn't mean anything. It's not going to mean you're going to win Lotto this weekend. Or you're going to meet anyone, or you're going to get a new promotion. You do that because the work you do. but it is always nice to be able to see it, because I got into astronomy because my dad took me outside and we watched Space Shuttle Columbia fly over in 95. It didn't cost a cent, and you might get your kids, or you might be getting into astronomy. It's a great